Hello and welcome in everybody back to DW Randomizer. It's Diabetes the Second here. Joining me in the booth is Mand, and we have a race for you today in the Tanthagil group. HoodyTwoShoes versus YakkoWakko20. Mand, how are you doing, and what are you looking forward to in today's race?
I'm doing good. I'm mostly looking forward to seeing how the racers navigate the stat side. It's a weird one. A lot of times when you get a single stat higher than the other, it isn't agility. 5 AP means they're going to have a lot of enemies they can't actually fight, but at 12 defense points, they're going to be breaking some of the early game stuff already.
Yeah, it's an interesting start as well with that 5 strengths. It's probably going to depend heavily on what items we find in the throne room. Do we find an extra key? Do we find gold? Do we go and push out and look for a town to get some offensive equipment? Torture fairy water to get to level 2 and see if the numbers improve a bit. But yeah, that agility will let them maneuver slightly more easily, so maybe we'll see them press out a little bit.
Another thing to keep in mind, these two racers in the Tanthagil group, I believe, are both on 1 loss so far. So both are in very good contention so far, but the winner is obviously going to be in much better contention than the other. So
Yeah, no question about it. And the Tanthagil group is one of our 7-player groups, so each player will have 6 races under the belt by the end of this phase of the tournament. So the more wins that you can rack up, the better off you're going to be. As we are underway here in Tanthagil. Goomba versus Metal Slime, very similar shaping.
gold and wings.
Right on cue, it's just what we talked about. Extra key, gold, potential for a town, hand axe maybe.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic start for the stat set.
And the nice thing here, too, is you don't really need to go and do too much. Our runners are both going to go straight back to the back of the castle, fully buy keys, go into the treasury, presumably, maybe check the basement, see if there's anything to get started here. There is the potential, I suppose, for, like, hard resetting if there's a town nearby and we lose hand axe money or something, but great start for the runners here in this low-strength start.
Yeah, it depends, obviously, if you can get fairy water out of here, if you can get another gold chest out of here, that becomes completely irrelevant. But if you get nothing out of here, and the bottom, at least, is going to be just Swamp Cave. With a red dragon.
You know what? It wouldn't be a Dragon Warrior Randomizer seed if we didn't start off with the best. First encounter. Didn't even leave the castle yet, really.
On the other side, I believe the treasury was gold, torch, cursed belt, and harp.
And not the most exciting for starting off with 5 strength. I mean, the extra gold is nice. Now keep in mind, while we did have a quote-unquote extra key... Oh, it's the torch there. So we do have that to potentially grind back and forth, but no gold grind per se. We'd have to get that set up elsewhere.
Could be that it exits out into the back of Garanham, in which case it would technically be possible, but with red dragons in there, I don't think they're gonna... You'd have to have a pretty lucky run to get through that.
So far, no Zone 0 sightings. Warlock with hurt on Hoody's side. Yakko doesn't even bother trying to go across Swamp here at level 1, but does run into a red slime, his red counterpart. And barring any silly ability, should be able to take this out to get on the board.
See it with hurt when you have this much defense points, but still very easy to take out. Meanwhile, Hoody trying to explore to the northeast, I believe, and seeing a cavalcade of enemies that are not in any way fightable right now.
Yeah, kind of an interesting divergence here. I thought that perhaps Yakko was going to go back into the treasury to get more torches, which it does look like that's what Hoody's going to do here. Perhaps... I was going to pick up the cursed belt as well. For some durable cash, I suppose. But Yakko went and saved. Which is a bit curious. Maybe wants to hold on to that cash. Just in case. But if you're going to sit and grind... we'll see.
Yeah, especially grinding against the red slime. I guess he's hoping to manipulate out non-hurt swings. That's if he encounters another one, he's probably going to lose that gold.
Oh, there's a cave just south of the castle. Hoodie is the first in there. It's just off screen to the south in the swamp. It is Tablet Cave. One chest, no encounters. You will have to walk it back. The usual things that would be useful at a level 1. Torch, fairy water. Gold, not so much. Key, not so much in this case. Sword or armor. Or that.
The seed has jokes. That is a long dive for something that isn't going to be useful for a while. At this agility, you're already more than 50% around from golems. That said, you take the flute instead, but it's not exactly going to be the ability to sleep golems is not exactly going to be a useful ability anytime soon.
Probably not. Yakko did pick up level 2 here, so some meager stat gains, mostly in areas that we don't particularly need. He did gain hurt, though, and a bunch of MP in order to cast it. So we may see some venturing forth into Zone 1 and 2 here, see if we can pick up some slightly bigger enemies, or maybe just play it safe and take care of the fair that's right around the castle.
I don't know about his decision-making here. It seems a bit... What do you think the idea is behind trying to keep alive at this point and still gain levels?
Perhaps before getting level 2 and not seeing what the stats were going to be and the spells and whatnot, but after getting hurt, I mean, at this point in the game, with the stat lines that they currently have, hurt is as good as a hand axe or a copper sword is going to be, so it really doesn't behoove you necessarily to try to, I guess, baby that gold forever.
Yeah, it looks like he might be heading in the swamp, in which case he's decided to just give it up and go for the quicker resets, because it does take a little bit of time each time you... Oh no, he's still gonna try to grind the zone out here.
And again, especially with no healing, no herbs, or anything really to work with, staying alive is virtually impossible. But now he's pressing out exploration, so I think accepting that losing that money is going to just happen here. Hoodie pushing out to the east, YakkoWakko going to the northeast, neither of which found some success there. Droll Magi with DL2 Breath, put that on the board. Something to factor in.
First DL2 enemy. We also had level 3 on Yakko's side. Decent strength boost, not that means much because it's still only 15, you're still basically just only going to be using hurt.
Ooh, great enemy on Yakko's side here in what looks to be Zone 1. Unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword. Stop spell is great, except when your only real means of offense is hurt. Unfortunately, the wolf lands on the second cast. He doesn't choose to try to plink it down. Probably not going to happen with 15 strength, but...
Yeah, the wolf HP total, you're almost certainly looking at 3 hurts to kill it, maybe 2 if you get lucky. That doesn't seem like a likely fight, although I always forget exactly what percentage stop spell is to land from enemies.
Yeah, stop spell's a coin flip. It's 50-50, and depending on whether or not he casts it a lot, he did 2 times in a row there, so... hard to say. Not enough information.
Skeleton here is a fantastic enemy.
Yeah, Zone 1 and 2 seem okay so far. The wolf is usually the bigger target that you really want to have just because it's so valuable, but Skeleton will do. Poltergeist not so much, but again, it's acceptable at this phase of the game. Just trying to get those early levels. They're nice and stacked quite closely together. Get those stats, maybe get those spells.
Adventurous attempt on Rogue Scorpion there by Yakko. Did have hurt, so it is technically doable, but if it attacks you once at this defense, you're probably not going to live the fight.
It was a good try, though. I definitely would do the same as Hoodie discovers ghosts have hurt more. So you can't poke at them. Just cast hurt or run. But going against that Rogue Scorpion, it makes sense. Because if it does have an ability like that, like it turned out to have, you got a decent shot at taking it out. And 70 is more XP than they've gotten so far in the first 8 minutes of the seed, so definitely worth giving it a shot.
Yeah, I think hurt was on level 2. Doesn't feel like it's going particularly fast so far.
No, not especially. Again, they've done a little bit of pressing exploration here as YakkoWakko also discovers his fairy flute. So all 4 instruments across the board have been collected.
They definitely can't beat DO2, but if they get together, they can start a band. I don't know that I'd listen to the band, though. 2 flutes and 2 harps is a bit experimental.
You know, it could work against DL2. He's got that nice percussion going throughout his battle theme. I don't know. It could work.
Oh, true. They don't need to fight the Dragon Lord. They need to form a band with him.
That's the secret third option in the dialogue menu, right? Nobody ever pushes down twice. It's yes, no, and then start a band.
I'll definitely try that in my race against whoever I'm racing against next. I can't remember.
Yep, the cursor definitely won't go back to yes, and you won't accidentally soft lock. I'm pretty sure.
Ooh, scorpions with hurt more too. I don't know that we'd seen that before.
I don't think we had either. We'll see if YakkoWakko also discovers it, and he does, right on cue. Commentator's curse in a way. So both runners here at level 5, looking for level 6. Trying to, it's, again, as you mentioned, man, it's for having hurt at level 2, this feels like it has not gone as well as it seemingly should have so far. Although,
Yeah.
Hoody's about to take level 6 here, so maybe level 6 will turn everything around.
It feels like that's probably going to be the case in a lot of these seeds where so many of the lower, like the, I don't know how to describe this tier, really, upper low tier, there we go. Upper low tier of enemies ends up with some sort of annoying ability or the ability to kill you, like wolves. At this point, HP total, you'd probably just take a wolf usually. Now it's a gamble. That said, now nothing is a gamble, except things that can't be hurt more, because level 6 had the bigger hurt.
Indeed it did. Hoodie was not the first one to get hurt, but he's the first to get hurt more, although Yakko is right behind here, just 9 XP away. He is able to take out a wolf as well. Luckily, he did learn that the wolf has hurt more itself, but that shouldn't be a problem in just a moment. Oh man, I think you were wrong. I think that flute came in handy for Hoodie. He ran from that golem.
That said, that's the wrong colored pile of bricks. Kills Yakko just outside of a town, and this could be bad for Yakko, because right now all he needs to do, really, is just get a handful more, I think 7 more experience. But he might forgo doing that explicitly and try to reach that town. Yeah, he's going for gold. He's gonna take a little bit of time here doing things that, unfortunately for him, he just doesn't know that he just doesn't need right now. Right now, he just needs 7 experience. That's all he needs.
But with the information he has, this is a perfectly defensible idea. If you're going to go to the town and try to get there, at least have some cash in your pocket. If you need to do a re-dig, let's say they have a broadsword and you need to get 1 more gold chest, that's fine. But going in with something is a good idea.
Yeah, and he's going to have the best of both worlds here because he does manage to run into a higher experience level enemy and get the level that has hurt more here, so we'll be able to do a bit of both.
Hoodie picks off his first green dragon, which also has hurt. A lot of hurt enemies so far in the seed today. So he's going to pick up level 7. Can't take out another, has run out of resources. Now, he also went to the west here, but I think diverted north. So he did not see that town on screen that Yakko had his eyes on. So we'll see if it's important that it's seen now versus a little bit later, but...
The gold man's going to make you fight for his gold. Honestly, I probably would have hurt more that, but to be fair, it's scary when you run into an enemy like that. But let's see if the shop has some good items here. Large shield is not bad, and silver shield for later. There's also a flame sword, which you could honestly grind the gold men outside to get enough money for that.
Yeah, and with that flame sword silver shield combo, I mean, if we do have access to a gold grind, As soon as we see a location in which to do that, it would not be unreasonable for our runners to pursue that. I mean, no armor is kind of a dampener, but that's still not too bad.
Hey, put some respect on the clothes name.
Okay. Armor that requires an extensive amount of gold grinding in order to purchase.
Ooh, that's a big find for Hoodie. First to check the Swamp Spike Town. I believe that was the spike being an Axe Knight there.
And it's another stop spell big enemy. I mean, this one he's able to take out with that mighty swing of 2.
That's one of those checks of you don't remember exactly what your AP value is yet, and you're hoping it's a little bit higher, and then it rolls 2 and kills it anyway, and you're just like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. It does have stop spell though, which is a bit rough.
Yeah, it's really, I think, a problem if you get ambushed or miss the hurt more, but hopefully it is not a continued issue. Yakko did find Staff Cave just north of Breckenary there, so he already has his Staff of Rain in hand. See how long it takes him to head back into Swamp Cave. It seems like it would be the type of thing that, oh, I have hurt more, I know where Swamp Cave is. It's probably a good idea to check that spike tile sooner than later.
Yeah, it definitely would be helpful right now. Hoodie about 3 times experience lead. Might not be able to take this one down. It's going to depend on the swing. 2 does it again.
Every little bit helps. He's going to pick up level 9. He picked up Heal More at level 8, which means I think it's fairly likely. I mean, he might be diverting out just to see what's on the other side of Swamp here if it backdoored into Garenhammer. Otherwise, I would not be surprised if he comes right back to the grind. You've got good survival stats, 78 HP, Heal More, decent agility, but you've got no equipment. He hasn't seen the town yet. You don't have... well, I guess he did just learn Repel as well, or they have had Repel for a little bit. You could press Exploration, but I do like sitting and doing the grind here a little bit. Do that ahead of time.
Yeah, I think especially if you've seen DL2 Breath, you maybe want to get into the 80s just to be a little bit safer in terms of HP totals, because it's not going to kill you now if you're at full HP, but there's, let's be honest, even for those who say always be at full HP, there's a lot of times when you're just not at full HP because it doesn't make sense to cast a heal spell. In this case, they don't have it, so I have to cast Heal More just to heal like 5 HP.
Unfortunately, Hoodie rediscovering, or actually, no, Hoodie was the one who discovered the Red Dragon earlier. That is one problem with getting back to this spike tile that maybe could put him off of coming back. But he is able to get away and get back onto the Axe Knight grind, although he did burn like 15 MP in the process, so it makes this a little less efficient. Can't take out quite as many Axe Knights, but still very, very good.
Hoodie meanwhile, Yakko meanwhile going back into Breckenary to grab some various small change items. Still has not gone to discover that spike. Oh, actually Yakko is, I think, going to sell these cursed belts for a broadsword potentially.
Yep, looking like it. He should have enough if he wants to buy some herbs as well, but elects not to. Hoodie, meanwhile, has now pressed the XP gap over 1,000 and picks up level 10. 14 more power, 5 agility, no hit points, but 15 MP and outside. Again, a little bit more mobility. We'll see what, again, he decides to do here. Looks like he's going to take a Death Warp and make the decision.
Yeah, I was gonna say the broadsword could technically speed up that Axe Knight grind a little bit for Yakko. Is, you know, this with the broadsword in hand, the swing will almost certainly kill unless you miss. Whereas Hoodie, I don't think, was guaranteed to kill it with a swing after those hurt mores that didn't fully kill it. But that said, Hoodie just picked up 14 AP just from a level, so basically meaningless now.
Yeah, I think the big question that Hoody's going to be asking himself as to when to divert from the grind here is, what could I be doing that's better than what I'm doing right now? And am I potentially running up toward, like, go stats before I have all the things? He's definitely not there on the stats yet. We're still just level 10. I don't know that you're going to find much of anything that's better than this right now. Again, the walk to the spike is a little dicey, but this is about as ideal as it's going to get.
I think this grind, as long as you don't get back attacked, is basically just it for potentially the rest of the game, unless all of a sudden the AP and strength come up really nicely. The HP and strength come up really nicely, but the MP dies. Then maybe you want to consider Red Dragon Zone, Golem grind. But aside from that, this seems to be likely the best grind for the rest of the game. The only danger is getting enough levels here that you're in an annoying situation where you have to fight red dragons and overlevel on the overworld. So that is a bit of a danger. That said, if you get 30 more agility on the next level, all of a sudden you probably don't even need to fight the red dragons if you go. So
yeah, it's kind of that double-edged, the grind you know versus the grind you don't know situation. It's hard to go away from the grind you know for the potential for something better elsewhere, because it may just not be. Another town for Yakko on the west coast is Hawksness. Okay, we'll probably get another look here at a second spike tile. Yakko doesn't have level 8 yet.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. No heal more, so... And he didn't pick up herbs. That could actually be really big.
Who needs the... Oh, never mind.
I think he needed them.
About to say.
It's insulting that it's Little Breath Exactoed, I think. Oof.
I was about to say he'll get 2 knights, get 601 XP, pick up the level with heal more, and then it'll all be fine. But the game had other ideas, as it often does.
That said, I think now he's going to go back here and discover that grind. Meanwhile, on the other side, I think Hoodie is staying on it. He got 30-something HP on level 11, but is going to stay on this grind.
Probably burn out the resources, and then we'll see him move.
Oh, true.
Again,
yeah.
we're starting to, I mean, over 100 HP, over 80 MP, you've got Repel, you've got Heal More, you've got Hurt More. Like, there's nothing that you're fearing other than Dragon Lord Breath at this point, and you're safe enough that unless it's on the Red Dragon, it's probably not that big of a deal.
Oh no, Yakko's still not checking that spike tile. Or no? Okay, now he's going to go back through and check it. Okay.
That's a fair check. Just go out and see. Is it Garenham? Is it not? It's not. Go back in.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that Yakko hadn't made it through in the first place. Meanwhile, the stay and grind a little bit longer because you still have resources shot Hoodie all the way to 12, in fact, and now the HP is going even more insane. This has got to be a Death Necklace seed, I feel like.
I mean, we're basically at Death Necklace HP already. If we find it, if it's inconvenient, not a place, and we can deal without it, then fine. But this is, to me, a have to go and do things now. And that's exactly what we see Hoodie do. The stats are getting a little too close for comfort to potential go level, and having explored, what, maybe 5% of the map so far, probably need to go and find some things.
The thing I don't like in Hoodie's case here is you're going to be using a lot of resources since you're going to be using them for offense and defense. That said, he might have enough money to buy a broadsword here, in which case he can start swinging on some things. Not quite.
You know, gets his 10 defense point upgrade. Call it a day. See what else he finds up here. If he kept going north, he would find the staff trade. It looks like he's not going to do that. Finds 1 gold man. Maybe he'll look for a second, try to get that broadsword. Yakko, on the other hand, has settled into the grind here on the Axe Knight. So again, he's got a little bit of an exploration lead on the Yakko side. Obviously, the XP lead on Hoodie's side.
We've seen, I think, nearly every Sherlock enemy. I think the only ones we're missing are Werewolf, Star Wyvern, and Armored Knight in the overworld so far. So definitely grinding to 129 HP seems like a good idea in retrospect.
Yeah, for sure. The overworld has been a little bit on the dangerous side.
But yeah, I believe going to where Yakko found... No, this is a different location. Oh no, it is the same location. So yeah, this is Hawksness. Absolutely going to make it to the Spike Tile unless something absolutely crazy pops up here. And on the search spot in Hawksness, we have absolutely nothing.
Well, that'll be a little bit of solace for YakkoWakko once he gets back there, that he didn't miss out on anything critical, and he didn't miss out on a better grind by not finding that first. Although the heal on the Armored Knight is pretty, you know, it's not going to do anything for it, so if you proc it, it just saves you a little bit of damage that you yourself have to heal, but not that much of an impact there.
It's funny because for my side, it would feel even worse because then you go all the way back to Hawksness and find nothing.
That's true. That's true. Having to make 2 trips up there instead of just... I would have known the first time, but apparently the knight had other ideas. Oh, there's knights right outside the town, too.
That said, it will bring him back up here, which is the same place Yakko is running around, and find... No, that's the same town. Okay, so yeah. Might find another town up there, though, because it does continue up to the north. Oh, wait, no, I got their screens mixed up. My bad.
I think Hoodie is exploring north of where Hawksness was. And he does
That's what
find
I thought was
cave.
happening, and then I switched over the screens.
Yakko's struggling with his Armored Knight. Can't land the Hurtmores. Rainbow Drop turned in for Hoodie, so he knows where it is. It's good to find it. Of course, you'd love to have all the things before you get there. But he knows where it is, which is a plus. See if there's anything else up in here. Very expansive map so far, particularly in this direction.
A bit of a lag spike on Hoodie's side, so not sure exactly where he maneuvered to or where he's maneuvering to now.
Well, Yakko's able to take down that Armored Knight, discovers a whole big pile of nothing. Armored Knight follows him outside. Gonna say, that wasn't very nice.
Honestly, given the shape of this area north of Hawksness so far, it might just be better, potentially, if Yakko just gets sent home right now, because so far, all Hoodie has found is a Rainbow Drop cave he can't use yet, and then a lot of ground to cover that has nothing in it.
They really haven't... I guess this is the first real, you know, fork in the road. He could have gone continued south there, or he's going to go east. That looks like a very narrow strip of land across the north. I don't think we saw anything across there. But this is just a long... Like you said, it's a dead end of nothing, and most of it's been pretty linear, too. He can go south here, and it looks like Yakko's going to be following in his footsteps. He's about to walk into the drop cave as well.
It opens up a bit more down here. It would be kind of hilarious if this circled all the way back down to Tanagel.
I was going to say, we're not far enough south yet, but, I mean, we're sort of heading into where it's either going to have to dead end into, like, an area north of Tanthagel, or it's going to have to go somewhere east of Tanthagel where we've already seen. So far, it's opened it back up, so I don't know. It could circle back. Chat noting a lack of wizard punching on Hoodie's side, and I would tend to agree with the comment as well that if he had a weapon, particularly that broadsword out of Canary, I think that would make a huge difference. Having 92 attack power versus 72 makes a big difference on those taking, 3 to 4 swings versus 2 to 3, especially when you have a really, really solid grind elsewhere.
I feel like...
Yeah, this is he's been here before. This circle's all the way back down. It's Tablet Cave. Tablet just like one step off screen.
So he basically just circled the map darn near. Well, not the entire map, but at the very least the west, north, and then back around values, and got absolutely nothing. Basically nothing for his trouble. He just found information. He found the Hawksness grind was not something you'd take probably over the Axe Knight endgame, and he found Rainbow Drop Cave for later, but that's it. He found nothing he can use right now. That was an insane trip to get that little out of.
And he's going to feel terrible about that because he's going to realize that exact scenario. It's like, I did this whole walk. If I had everything and then decided to walk this way last, if I had all the pieces, I could just do my turn in and be done. The funny thing is that I was going to say Yakko is following in his footsteps, so he doesn't know it, but it really wasn't that much of a disadvantage.
Yeah, this could be very good for Yakko, or it could be bad. What Yakko needs to do that he doesn't know is find a path that doesn't lead right to back the way it came. Honestly, right now, Swamp Cave, the other side of it, is looking fantastic, but there is still this area up here and to the east I think the Hoodie didn't fully clear. But like if Yakko basically goes north and then west, I can't imagine he would, but if he does, that's going to be a massive time sink for nothing.
Yeah, I think east across this area where he is now, which does hold the town. I think south and then through Swamp Cave. I think you're right. That's pretty much where we're stuck going at this point. I don't know why. Cantlin looks very strange on desert tiles.
Yeah. Also, one thing Dr. Mookow is pointing out in chat that we haven't really touched on recently, considering how far Hoodie has ventured, not having found the Harp Cave just north of Breckenary could be really bad, because this is the point where you would usually have you would have usually finished your spiral by the time you do that long of a trek, right? So he might be in the mindset that he's cleared everything around Tanagel, and if so, he might not find Staff Cave for a little bit.
Yeah, that is definitely a downer, and especially because he already has the harp. It's not even just a matter of knowing, it's I can cross that off and never have to look for it or come back to it. But we'll get a check for the coordinates here. He did see that the bottom shop in Cantlin has all the best things. If a gold grind is in the works, still no Grave or Mountain Cave yet.
Do have an eminently countable set of coordinates, and we also on the other side have Yakko unfortunately going north and then east, so he's basically just going to go backwards, and the rub is he doesn't have return. They don't have return, so even if he realizes that he is just starting to repeat his steps, he's going to have to find some swamp and take a death in once he realizes that, because there's no way to get back aside from that.
Hoodie electing to continue exploration. Defensible, again, you're kind of out and away from places. You've already got the harp, so you're not worried about getting things in the wrong order, per se. He does have a cave here just south of Cantlin, which is Stone's Cave, another one chest location. Still missing those big locations. It's a torch.
Yeah, I often like going back and trying to clear things off, but in this situation, like, if you had harp traded in and one of the other items, then I think you probably do then. But then they both found Rainbow Drop Cave, so there's also no reason to do that really. Like, the only thing that really costs you is maybe like honestly, with Hurtmore, you don't care that much about sword immediately, so, like, I'd say armor. If armor is on the coordinates, then you're feeling a bit rough, but, like, aside from that, nothing is too big there.
Alright, Hoody's trying to take down this golem, not cooperating so far with the flute. Yakko is still kind of traipsing around that area to the northwest, which we know doesn't have anything other than the 2 locations that have already been located.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly where Yakko got killed his first time up here, so I don't know if he's crossed into the point where he can technically start to realize that it's a repeat. But once he sees Rainbow Drop Cave, he almost certainly will. And he might have already... He's going north again now, so he might have already... No, I think maybe he just didn't dead end that area up there because he's kind of looking at it.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It can be a little bit disconcerting or a little bit disorienting. This is not the type of map structure that you encounter too often, where you have effectively a large and weirdly shaped lake sort of in the middle that the land has formed a donut around. But that is what we're dealing with. I think he's realized, perhaps, but...
Yeah. There's no reason to head back this direction this quickly unless you realize that you were just kind of finishing off the exploration up there. So he's now in the same boat. That said, still a little bit behind in experience. A little bit behind in being able to check Caitlin over here. That said, Hoodie taking down these golems with just the hand axe is becoming a bit rough, and he's starting to run out of his resources now because of it.
Yeah, it's one of those, the golem, if it cooperates, is great, but if it doesn't cooperate, particularly with low attack power, it could just be a very sloggy fight. He is fortunate to find a Garenham, our first sighting of this town. He's able to top off on herbs, he'll stay at the inn, we have the back to check, we have a cave, we have 3 chests here, and from my recollection, we have what? It's just Mountain and Grave left at this point?
Yeah, just Mountain and Grave, so that means this is going to be an interesting decision. I probably don't gold grind out of here, because you know the other cave is out there somewhere as well, and you can just gold grind out of that one instead, but it is something you can do here.
Yeah, that's a tough call. It may depend on which cave it is, and of course, you know, what they find. If it's Mountain Cave and you find, oh, I don't know, sword, armor, stones, and token, well then, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
But it's, you know, but I mean, like, if this is Grave, do you dig? Or do you not?
If this is Grave, I almost certainly dig. You're still missing, you know the coordinates hold one thing, so you've only technically got stones, token, armor, sword, and death necklace in the pool, but that's still 4 items. Unless the top of Grave gives me at least 3 items, I don't think I'm skipping bottom Grave. And the odds that all 3 of the top chests are one of those 5 search spot items, I think is pretty unlikely, so I imagine in my case I would probably want to dive this. That said, there is a bit of analysis here where, you know, you found nothing here so far, maybe Mountain has everything instead.
Gold scale key in Garenham. That was what? Herb something, and death necklace in the top of Grave. So I think you given what we're still missing 4 things. You have to dig here, unfortunately.
Yeah, 100%.
Yakko did see the back of Sharlock, which looks to be east of Cantlin. Not sure if we can access the entrance from that side or not. We didn't quite catch an eye on that, but he is, again, still following just ever so slightly behind Hoodie's footsteps here. He's just made his peek at the Stones Cave.
Might make up some ground in terms of experience being able to take these golems down faster if he chooses to fight them. And I imagine he is going to fight them because he's putting them to sleep, and at this agility power, just agility total, there is no reason to bother with the flute just to run unless you're like in kill range from them, so. So chest 4 in Grave here coming up is very good dive.
Winners dig grave. Of course, it makes mathematical sense to do it in this case, but definitely required. Delicious, delicious Sunday bakery scones.
Arshfield once sent me a recipe for, was it? Yeah, it was scones of sunlight, and I still need to make that at some point.
He sent you the recipe, not the actual scones?
Archfield is a cruel mistress.
Unfortunate.
So Yakko reaching Garenham will also have the same choice. Now we know that he might feel behind, and if he does, that could lead to dangerous things there. Last chest, I believe, was gold. Because sometimes when you feel behind, you decide to try to shave a little time off, and shaving time out of grave is not possible unless you don't plan on finishing the seed.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, even if you're feeling behind, though, I mean, the math clearly says at this point he has checked all the same things that Hoodie has. The numbers are there. I mean, outside of these top 3 chests, you've got 2 chests, you've got 5 in Mountain Cave, and then you've got the search spot in Coal, plus he's got coordinates, which he knows. So there's still going to be 2 items out there that he needs to find. You can't leave this behind. And he won't, which is good. Here. If it were close to home or something, that's a different story. This is far. This is not a close... It is sort of on the walk to Sharlock, but that doesn't help you when the drop cave is in the exact opposite direction. If you're missing sword and armor, maybe. But I think he's making the right call here.
Hoodie there with a brief moment of wanting to... ooh, that is a nasty Sharlock to get into. Hoodie with a brief moment there of wanting to check the rim shop. But does a curly Q walk away, like the Simpsons meme, when the guy in the weapon shop decides to block it off for a bit?
I'm not sure what he'd be looking to be picking up at this point either. I mean, I guess a broadsword is a very small upgrade.
Yeah, I think it depends... Oh, circle back over to Cantlin. I think it depends on if he thinks a gold grind in his future. Right now it's looking relatively likely that armor, sword, or both could be in Sharlock, because we only have... Well, I guess we do still have the coordinates. The coordinates in... Did we find Coal yet? I can't remember now.
I don't believe we've seen Coal either. So we got the search potential for Coal. I think we only have 1 cursed belt. Oh no, do we have 2? We had 1 in the throne room. Did we have 1 in grave?
If we've only seen 1 in the throne room, we've seen more than 1, because I remember one of them, I think Yakko sold them to get the broadsword. And
sorry, I said throne room. The treasury.
Oh, okay then. Yeah, I don't know then.
I think we've only seen the 1, and we do have the 1 empty search tile. Bottom line is, we don't have enough cursed belts to know whether or not Cole definitely does or doesn't have something.
Yeah, still, the odds are decent something is going to be in Sharlock, but hard to say for sure. So the gold grind is looking potentially very nice here. If armor rolls into throne room, rolls into Sharlock, you'd really, really prefer to have magic armor, and honestly even a silver shield.
I would agree, and it's going to make sense here because Hoodie is just about out of land area. He may choose here to go west first. I don't think we've seen that because this is going to be Mountain Cave. It's the last cave left. He doesn't do that. I don't think he saw everything to the west there, because if Cole is up here, you definitely do not want to do that gold grind out of here.
Yeah, I think, given what we've seen of the map, I mean, I guess we haven't seen Second Continent still, right? He could be gambling on Second Continent.
Literally, we've seen what it looks like on the one screen outside. We have not seen anything else, unfortunately.
But if he's choosing to dive this now rather than full clearing the area around it first, I have to imagine he's not going to gold grind, which is a potential for Yakko to make up some ground if gold grinding turns out to be a really good idea. Because certainly the red dragons in here are going to make dying out of Mountain Cave barely an inconvenience.
Yeah, and Hoodie is electing to fight these. I mean, again, not the best attack power here with just the hand axe, but It's kind of surprising. I've been kind of watching these back and forth. We haven't talked a ton about about Yakko, because he's literally doing what Hoody's doing, just like 5 minutes delayed for the most part. He's actually kept up pretty well on the XP front, and is mostly keeping in range with the exploration as well, despite not doing that extended grind on the Axe Knight. So kudos to Yakko staying in this one.
I think it's potentially what was mentioned earlier. The broadsword versus hand axe difference isn't huge, but most of the oh no, took a risky swing on a werewolf. That is actually super bad potentially. I think he was still in grave, but I guess that might have been a gold grind actually. Now that I think
it was. He'd already seen the last chest and was walking it back. I was wondering if he was going to go for a gold grind there. It looks like he is going to, which again could be to his benefit here. So far. Oh, what did we see? I'm not paying attention to Mountain Cave.
I think it was 2 things that he put in his inventory, and so if it was anything important, it was token, and I haven't seen token light up yet, so I think it was, yeah, torch and wings, so... This gold grind is looking much, much better now. Even if coal is occupied, if this last chest, I believe it's just this chest and coal, right? Or in the overworld.
And we have fairy water, so yeah, it's going to be the overworld search tile via Cantlin, and we have coal. So at least one thing at this point I think we can confirm is in Sherlock, with only 2 things that can be on those spots and 3 items that we are still looking for.
J. Cooper mentioning in... Oh no, J. Cooper and Kierno mentioning in chat, Hoodie orphaned a chest in Mountain.
Did he skip chest 2? I was worried that I missed him do it when I saw him up to the northwest part of the where the 2 chests are, but I didn't actually realize that I missed him skipping the other one.
Oh no.
Well, there's the token. He needs to find the staff cave. And he appears to be, I'm assuming, if he's going to go and refill his MP here, he is going to head into the back and head to the second continent, which is not the answer. It will be probably, I think, where coal is, but it is not where the staff trade-in is.
That said, he also... Did he dead-end... I don't know. Did he outside and dead-end the area up there nearby Mountain Cave? I don't remember.
I believe he did, because he did not pursue a gold grind. He outside saw that what we mentioned earlier, it's like across that bridge, does it keep going? Is coal over there? He did outside and check it, then use the wings to go home. Because again, they still don't have return, even at level 13.
Yeah.
Alright, Yakko's gonna get his token now, so that is in tow. So again, they're just following very closely behind one another. Now, Hoodie does have Mountain Cave crossed, well, he thinks crossed off, 4 out of 5 crossed off. So Yakko still needs to do that.
This is a potentially dangerous routing, but we haven't seen anything with sleep yet, I don't think. Yakko going over here, I think, where was it that had every single item? Was that somewhere in Cantlin? But wherever it is, Yakko not going to that shop. We'll go to this one instead, which I believe has 2 of the items.
Yep, Flame Sword, Silver Shield here in Brecconary, and at least the bottom shop in Cantlin has all 3, which really the magic armor is the only thing that we're looking for at this point, so... I don't think he's going to make a dedicated walk over there unless he wants to continue exploration, but we'll see what he elects to do next. Because that should be either direction that he's going to go to unless he goes across Swamp.
Maybe he didn't check the Cantlin shops, all of them, and just saw the magic armor in one of them and said, well, the other items are in Brecconary, because now he's heading back this direction.
Perhaps it's another one of those, like, I know where this is, it's safe to go ahead and get my Silver Shield over there nice close to home. I haven't seen anything that's going to kill me, but if you're me, and I'm famous for it, I won't save, and then I'll go out and discover an enemy that I didn't know existed, and I'm like, well, there goes my money.
Which could also be part of the equation. Brecconary was a little bit closer to home, so being able to get that Silver Shield and start repelling things right now is potentially a bit useful.
Also true. It's going to help out with the walk a little bit. Hoodie circumnavigating what looks to be the southwest portion of the map. It's on the second continent, which is leading to, so far, nothing. Yakko back in Cantlin.
It could be he missed something somewhere about coal. Because it does not look like, if you're checking spots like that, it's, well, no, he's going back up here, so maybe still a bit more ground to explore.
Absolutely nothing. So it looks like second continent not required unless we missed something. So that leaves the outstanding town of Coal somewhere. I don't know. Have we fully explored south of south of Tablet Cave on the Prime Continent, way back at the beginning of the seed? I feel like I've seen them go around it, but not fully through it yet.
It's hard to say. I feel like they have. I feel like at least Hoodie has. Well, I'm not entirely certain. There were a bunch of little fingers coming off the north east area, I would say, it felt like. It could be Cole was hiding in some sort of little path that only Hoodie has been near and just didn't manage to spot. Because it feels like they've explored basically the entire map, just barring like maybe a screen or two.
It's always hard when you're not mapping these yourself when you're playing and trying to just watch it and go along with it. Catch all those little breakpoints and such. You got to remember that Hoodie is still also looking for the staff cave. It's for him, not just coal, and he looks to be going in the direction where he's going to find that, which is good because he wants to find that. And I guess the order doesn't really matter, but you don't want to miss it.
Yeah, and it actually could work out a bit for him here because he might go recheck, because it looks like he's starting to just recheck areas that he thought he had cleared beforehand. And he might recheck the area around Rainbow Drop Cave next, in which case he can just trade in then.
All right, staff for Hoodie. Just one more item yet to pick. I think we have seen this east of staff trade-in. I think Yakko showed us this a bit earlier, and this is just a very quick dead end here. Again, it's spiraled so far into itself that there's nowhere for this to go.
Yeah. One interesting thing we haven't talked about yet. Mountain Cave was basically empty aside from the orphan chest. If the orphan chest doesn't end up being important, and Yakko, say, I don't know, finds armor in coal before he finds Mountain Cave, could be a potential to gamble there. That said, you'd still be gambling on the sword, not quite as key as the armor, but still often required to win, and right now the AP is such that it is required to win. Even with Death Necklace, you're not winning with a flame sword. That said, oh no, wait, that's Breckenary. From there, I thought we saw a new town.
Wait, okay, no, sorry. It's like that was Rim. I was like, wait a minute, did we not go across this bridge that's right here? Right, this was Rim.
And that's Hawksness, but he's gonna check just in case. This is one of those things where it's rough, as you were mentioning. Like, it's very hard to keep track of things when you're not mapping. Like, I can't even play an actual seed that I am playing and not map. So at this point, this map is just an absolute mystery to me.
Yeah, you sort of have like the northeast, like 2/3 of the map is that long spiral. It looks like we may have had second continent I said southwest. I think it's actually perhaps southeast. And then you've got, Sharlock, Mountain Cave, Cantlin, Rim, Breckenary, Garenham, not Breckenary, all this other stuff is to the east. I don't know what is to the south. I personally am not convinced that we have seen everything, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah, I don't remember Hoodie checking everything, but I do remember seeing Hoodie go that direction and start to check things. So I'm just kind of like, I think he probably would have checked everything. But again, sometimes Swamp can be scary, especially because they still don't have heal. So Swamp is actually deceptively annoying, because if you want to be safe and heal at various points to avoid DL2, to avoid hurt more deaths, you're going to have to burn a heal more and a lot of MP when you really, until recently, wouldn't have wanted to.
Yeah, just based on what Hoodie is doing here, he is convinced that he has covered everything and has missed Cole, which may very well be the case. Like I said, I'm not 100% convinced we've explored everything to the south, but I could be wrong. Yakko, meanwhile, is heading back up to the northeast. He's done his purchases. He's explored to the southeast. He found, did the Garanham stuff, did the Rim stuff. Now he's heading up toward where, this is Cantlin, not Cole. He's headed back up toward where Mountain Cave is. So he will get that done. And again, maybe, is there something else up here that Hoodie missed somehow? That, because this is really the only other place that I could conceivably see that Cole could be hiding. Simultaneous repel wear off there.
I will say I'm not entirely sure. I could see it have been hiding in that loop that Hoodie is currently on, because there are some little fingers like this one that go through it. But I feel like Hoodie probably full cleared them. I don't know that if someone missed them, I think it probably went Yakko, because he kind of, went one way and then circled back the other way and checked the other half. So I could have seen him missing something. But now that Hoodie is here, I at this point, I'm pretty sure everything is full stop cleared. So I think it's got to be in this northeast section that Yakko is in, or just south of Tanager, and both players have simultaneously, repeatedly not gone that direction. Either way, though, if you're Hoodie, this feels, he doesn't know it. I think he maybe still has the lead, depending on what the second chest in Mountain Cave is. Not quite, okay. He's actually lost for the first time, I think, in the entire seed, really, except for like the very opening minutes. He's lost the experience lead, but he's still in very good shape. But this probably feels like the race getting away from him, full stop.
Oh, it does, and especially since he already has done his turn-ins, he didn't miss anything on that front, he has his rainbow drop, you've got an excellent, easy, fast grind literally right at home. You have to be thinking every single second, even if he's picking up occasional kills here, and getting a little bit of XP at a time. You have to feel like this is tremendously inefficient compared to what I could be doing instead.
Said, Yakko is in a dangerous situation himself now. He's been fighting these reds, which is generally the correct play, but he's also running really low on MP. He's not even at the second floor yet. If he has he's not even at the first chest yet. If he has to orphan a chest or two in Mountain Cave, that's probably going to have to be something he redives. So he really needs to get off this floor without seeing another red dragon, and he does.
All right, the moment of truth. Chest 2. Fairy water. I'm not sure if I'm excited or disappointed by this process, or this discovery. I'm excited because it means that Hoodie probably doesn't have something catastrophic happen to him because he forgot that chest. At the same time, I mean, come on. It would be kind of fun and interesting to see how he copes with that.
That feels bad for Yakko. Trying to save MP and time, elects to just run from the golem at 84 agility and gets run blocked twice by a bag of bricks that I think is over 50% to run at like 23 agility or so. Yeah, Hoodie is now convinced that he's checked the entire northern spot of that northeast area, and he's going to go back and probably try to get a town to heal in. I think there was a town here. No, he's just gonna keep wandering.
Yeah, I think he just realized that he's out of resources. Garanham and Rim are both down here, so I mean, it's a good place to jump back off from. Again, still no return, which would be very convenient if he needs to explore somewhere else.
So yeah, I feel like it maybe has to be just south of Tanager, which is gonna be a gut punch to both the racers if it is and they discover that, because there can't be much room down there that they've missed. Oh, that said, Yakko has returned. Oh, he's returned and he's going to... Oh no, Yakko is going to return and trade in for the drop. I wonder where Yakko thinks it is. It could be Yakko thinks that with what he didn't see up here, with the way he explored up into the northwest section, that he might have missed it up here. So this is bad.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but again, I mean, Beta brings up an interesting idea here. At what point do you just say, forget it, I'm gonna head into Sharlock. I have to go for one item anyway. Maybe both will be there. Unless, again, we've miscounted, and by I say that, I mean I've miscounted. Have we seen 2 curse belts? If we've seen 2, we know that Cole has something. So we have to find it. But I think we've only seen 1.
The exclamation point Cole command in chat has never been more accurate. But yeah, this is a rough decision. Like, armor is the one thing I like. If I feel behind in a race, I will absolutely dive Sharlock, hoping Sword is there. If I feel behind in a race and I want the Death Necklace, I will absolutely dive Sharlock and see if the Death Necklace is there. Because you're going to get experience, and that experience could make either of those items meaningless anyway. The one item I don't love doing that on is armor. But that said, as you pointed out, you know you need to dive Sharlock for one item anyway. So you could just take the gamble.
Yeah, I would say you gain something out of it, and you get the information about what enemies are in Sharlock. We haven't seen anything that is particularly scary, like ability-wise or anything, but like you're getting information about what enemies are there. You're going to see the zones. You're probably going to pick up a little bit of experience along the way. At least, I mean, if he were to do it right now, he's at least going to get level 15. Then you're going to get that one item, but yeah, I don't know.
I think if level 15 is anything, I kind of just feel like, why not try it?
We're going to see level 15 on Yakko's side. He's reclaimed the XP lead yet again. Again, they've been trading it back and forth here. 6-1-3-1 heal and return, so the remaining spells. And finally, at long last, we are going to see South here. Am I right? Is it down here and we've just missed it the entire seed? I don't remember going all the way through this swamp, and there it is! Cole, at long last, the closest town, perhaps, competing with Breckenary to the start.
This, if you're in Hoodie's situation, if this is armor or sword especially, oh yeah, he almost certainly feels, oh no, I've thrown the race away. What he doesn't know is that he's functionally ahead, because he doesn't have the experience lead and level 15 yet, but he also does have the drop traded in for already. Yakko is still making his way over there. And Yakko obviously has not found it yet. So I would say Hoodie is in the lead right now, but probably feels, after exploring the whole map, like an extra time over at least, and it was just that close to home, almost certainly feels like he is massively behind.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. So it's interesting that he's going to go ahead and go back to the Axe Knight grind, it looks like here. So the other thing that's going to come into play here with armor confirmed in Sharlock is, do you go for the armor, dig it out, and then be able to, you know, dive Sharlock the second time through with most likely less resources and get through to the Dragonlord, or do you grind up enough to do it all in one? And that could be a divergence. We'll see what Yakko elects to do here, but based on the current stats, a single dive is not in the cards.
Yeah, Aaron22 saying a single dive. The one thing is, like, even at level 15, even with sword, you're only at you only gain 121. So but they do have the Death Necklace, yeah. So it's rough.
But I mean, even 131, 7 to 15, 11 on average, you're looking at like 14 swings, 15 swings, and you only have 12 heal mores. You're going to burn at least 1 on the barrier tiles. There is not a lot of room to work with here.
Yeah, honestly, I maybe would have tried to double dive this, both for zone information and, I don't know, it just feels... Yeah, I think he's setting up for that too, because he's just leaving that grind immediately. Because this is winnable right now with armor. So if you go down and you get the armor without finding the level, you're golden. If you go down and find the level and it gives you like 20 to 40 or 20 to 30 AP, all of a sudden you can single dive at full stop. So I think this is definitely a situation where the odds favor just going into Sharlock and seeing what you can see.
Yeah, again, it's another one of those toss-up decisions we talked about earlier about like the grind you know versus the grind you don't know, and this is like the level up that you know and the level up or the stats that you know and the stats that you don't know, because for that exact reason, if you pick up an extra level and dedicate to that to aim for a single dive, the stats may be garbo, and it might not be one level, it might be two before you get the stats to do it, whereas, you know, you just don't know.
Yeah. Meanwhile, is that Cole on Yakko's side? He's entering approaching a town from the north with swamp in the way. Yep, that is Cole.
Well, he didn't have to do a tremendous amount of rewalking any land area from my observance, so he may have known that he hadn't fully cleared that, which is good for him. The other positive for him is that he's had return, so he's been able to navigate the map just a little bit faster. So we'll see what our runners like to do. This is very, very close.
The angry swing on the ghost there from not having repel up. So yeah, this is gonna be really tight. Yakko does have the advantage in having magic armor and silver shield. Definitely helps. Number one, you can already start repelling some enemies in Sherlock, and number two, the little bit of heal walking for magic armor in Sherlock is honestly not to be underestimated sometimes. So he's going to be in Sherlock a bit slower, but I would say maybe has an advantage that way. The other advantage he has is that he is 1,100 points above. If 16 is just obvious go, and he hits it, going down in Sherlock, just stop leveling and start repelling.
He's to a point where, again, it's hard because, again, it depends on what the level gives. Just like anything else, it's unknown information. I might try to pick up the level first. He's so close to 16. He's seen Armored Knights. We've seen Golems on the Overworld. We know that they're there. It's fairly easy, even if you don't go to the Axe Knight tile. But I guess you could also make the argument if he goes to the top floor of Sherlock, picks it up quickly, outsides out, and goes right back from jumping off from Garenhammer, from Cantlin, actually. I mean, that wouldn't be too bad either. But I think if he gets to level up quickly, he has to redive.
Yeah, if the level provides MP, you're in a situation potentially single dive this. Honestly, even HP wouldn't be that bad, although obviously I don't think you need to exit out for that. So it's really going to depend on what the level is. I think anything but MP, he has no reason to. That said, he's going to only be about a single floor behind. It is the largest floor, but it's going to be very, very tight.
Yeah, and Hoodie is fully committed to this being a double dive. He's burned like 3 or 4 heal mores already. He's been running into it with the Armored Knights here. They've got hurt more, and without that magic armor, again, that you don't think about the magic armor providing that protection against hurt and hurt more that much. It's very situational, but in this situation, it is making a pretty significant difference in the resource utilization.
Yeah, one thing I will note is I don't think Yakko cleared out his inventory and picked up fairy water. So that is going to be a, if that ends up being useful to repel, could be nice, because we're noting right now he's actually just going to fight things that he's already basically going to be able to swing through pretty easily, I guess. He's going to try to make this a single dive.
Again, it makes sense to at least look and see based on the numbers. I think it's a good idea.
Does burn through Healmores there, though.
He does. Again, I'm not surprised by using at least one. I'm a big fan of using a heal more plus some herbs. That we have a little bit left for some incremental healing if you need it.
Yeah.
But he's already down to 10 heal more, so it's going to have to be a decent level up and no more resources used if it's going to work for him.
Giant Sartorius in chat, I don't think we've seen anything dangerous. That said, he's running from this werewolf, which is broken. Curious about what he's going to get the level on if he's not going to go for things like the werewolf. Is it just going to be the Axe Knight?
Yeah, that was a bit of an odd choice. I would definitely fight that. If you're not going to cast Repel, he's got 7 extra MP that's not heal more bearing. So if you're not going to cast Repel, definitely fight those, get that level, see what happens.
Ooh, and I think that makes it a non-starter to keep trying to save resources. I think now you just start burning through things. Yeah.
Hoodie with the elusive Radiant cast in Sharlock. Maybe he's looking for some of those alternate chest locations. He has such a hard time finding coal. Maybe the armor is hiding somewhere among Sharlock that we wouldn't expect.
Turns out the Dragon Lord realized the system was bad and just stuffed it under some stairs. Yeah, don't look now, but the experience is basically even thanks to Hoodie taking a bunch more fights and Yakko trying to run away from a bunch more things.
Yeah, again, it's tough. Hoodie is definitely committed to this being a double. It's possible still for Yakko, depending on what the stat growth is. If he gets a lot of attack power, that's 9 heal mores is enough. It's still possible.
Yeah.
But I'm not liking the enemies, and he's not healing up to full.
Yeah, he's not using his herbs if he has them. I think he definitely bought some, so he's just not going into them. I think at this point, yeah. Like, you just got to give it up. And if you got to give it up, you got to fight things like the red. Like, get the level as soon as you can, and then start repelling.
Yeah, so far for him, it's been kind of a worst of both worlds on the decision-making. He's not getting the XP, and he's still burning or digging into the resources, which is just not what you want to see.
Meanwhile, Hoodie is now on the final floor, so we will have the first look at Treasury. Is armor here, or is it going to be on Judge's table? Personally, I always root for Judge's table.
Hoodie will need one more enemy defeated in order to get the level. Oh.
Well, darn it.
That wasn't much, what's the word I'm looking for? That was very exciting. There was no anticipation. There was no intrigue. He found it right away.
Tries to throw away the fairy flute.
This is not the Joie Fork the Randomizer. Unfortunately, droppable flute is not on. But it is worth it to pick that up versus picking up the, or holding onto a fairy water. You can dump the fairy water. Cantlin's nearby outside, so.
Yeah.
But he really shouldn't need it.
Yeah, once you put on the death necklace, if you're going to, you don't need the fairy water anyway. 133 is technically still getting my fairy water, but it's in the range of, honestly, who cares? And with some more power, you definitely don't need it now. Now it's a loss. Although you could also just decide to go in and get a bunch of doubles and not even equip the death necklace if you wanted to. There's no wrong decision point, really.
Yeah, now that the decision making on Yakko's side is just that much more. Again, it's going to be just the way this one plays out. He, with that stat upgrade going up to 140 with the death necklace, still not really going to have opportunities for doubles. Not impossible, but not great opportunities for doubles post death necklace from 147. I mean, it could have been done even with 9 heal mores.
Yeah. Arturius noting in chat, Yakko just herbed. Does he still think this grind? I think he maybe is still hoping that he can get the last level in here and maybe get it out. That doesn't math to me. Like, that's 11 swings, so you'd want 9 heal mores. He's down to, I guess.
It's not impossible. We're writing him off. It's not impossible.
Yeah. You would need to make up a swing, and after putting on the death necklace, that's not supremely likely, but it is technically doable.
Does get an herb back, and he will be heal walking the rest of the way here. It looks like he's going to go for it. I mean, based on the way this one has gone, this is his opportunity to somehow sneak out with a win. He does need to kill some things. The Stone Man would be like the last choice of options, but he is going to try it.
The only thing I would do is I would maybe take the Stone Man medal, just put him to sleep first, because you do have what is that? 7 MP. You can get 3 casts of sleep in there and just try to get a bit of experience that way for hopefully free. Obviously, it won't work out. It never does.
Yeah, I would just be looking for any of those broken enemies. Unfortunately, he skipped so many fights earlier on that he would have had, or probably should have had 16 already. He is going to take out the blue dragon here, which will put him just short of the level, but he will pick it up on the spike tile, or he could try to get it before the spike so he knows.
Yeah. He needs a copy spike. If it's something like a dragon, basically going to be out of contention just getting through it probably unless you trip it. And it is a red dragon.
And if he gets a 3-shot, he's got the herbs to heal back up. Hoody's into the middle zone here on the diamond floor, so he's got some... He's catching up. Ooh. There's not a lot of room for error here.
Yeah, this is going to be tight. He did indeed get through it. I think probably just squeaked through it, honestly.
Use the heal. Smart. Heal walking is for suckers.
So I think he has 1 cast of heal left and 1 herb left that he can use to try to manipulate out a good starting HP total. The back attack from the Dragon Lord does not help that, but they're a stop spell. Is he waiting until now to put on the death necklace, or is he going to try without it? He's going to try without it.
130, 7 to 15. I probably would have thrown it on here. Another ambush is not good. He also didn't try to play the herb game either. See if he could bait out another stop spell.
Yeah, I thought he maybe had more fairy water, but yeah, no, I think not putting on that death necklace there without extra fairy water is probably not going to help, and that heal more being so rancid definitely did not help.
I believe he started off with 13 and 11 is 24.
Still has a puncher's chance, but it's a very bedraggled puncher right now, I'd say.
35. Oh, the roll's not cooperating. 44.
Into the swings now, he'll need a lot of cooperation because there's not a huge amount of ground he can make up at 130 AP.
57 and 71. 79. And he gambled and lost.
Very likely had to take that gamble from everything, but it's basically Hoody's to lose now because this feels... He's kept all his resources down at the red dragon spike tile. This feels pretty free.
Indeed, and it was a risk that he didn't have to take in that situation. With 147 max HP, you're not giving up anything if you're healing at even 47. And even at 48, you're only giving up the potential of 1 extra HP of healing with the death necklace not enabled, so the numbers weren't adding up anyway, but he kind of took himself out with that one.
You could argue it's a blessing in disguise, because if he wasn't going to win anyway, he might as well have gotten out of the fight faster, but obviously there wasn't much reason for that swing if you're still treating that as a winnable fight.
And
except
another
of
Dragon
course,
Lord ambush.
Except of course the reason Beta is pointing out in chat, style points. Of course, that's the most important thing anyone can get in this game, so...
Alright, 16 and 14 is 30 for Hoodie. 45. 57. 72. 83. 99. Great position for Hoodie here. $112. Still has 6 heal mores, now 5. $129. $143. Possible in the next swing. $18 does it. $161. So get your GGs out for HoodyTwoShoes. Going to take first place in this race. It was a close one right up until the end. That scavenging the map for coal did not cost him in the end, although it very well could have.
Yeah, it was a very near thing at the end, but in the end just managed to eke out a win. Probably was expecting a finish the entire Sharlock dive, if I know any racer.
Almost certainly, especially with that really solid fast grind that he could have been doing instead. Official time for Hoodie 119.26. We'll see if we can grab HoodyTwoShoes and bring him in to give us some of his thoughts, probably on finding that missing location and what he had or hadn't marked off at that point. If he chooses to come in, we'll give him some comments, or he'll give us some comments rather. Meanwhile, it does look like Yakko is going to play this out.
Yeah, no reason not to if you don't have anywhere to be, because it's like at this point you've seen enough of Sharlock to know nothing is dangerous in there. That said, is getting level 17 on the way just for, you know, not insurance, really, pleasure. Or spite. Spite works too. That said, still about 1,600 away from the next level. Not sure who'll manage to get it in time. The Red Dragon will make up a good chunk of it, but and welcome into the booth, Hoodie. GG on the win.
Hello, thank you. Sorry, just having some microphone positioning issues. Yeah, thanks for the GG. I had some concerns about Cole. Again, I was worried again that there's going to be a problem on the map, and I had some concerns. But when I found Cole, I at least knew it wasn't, 20 minutes of wandering around, so I felt like I had a decent chance. But I was a little worried that Yakko was on a good one, and the time that I wasted looking for Cole was going to be consequential.
It was definitely tight in the end. Yakko did not grind as early as you did on the Swamp Spike. So you actually had a very, very sizable experience lead post Hurtmore. It was probably in the range of like double, sometimes even triple. But made up a lot of ground in the mid game, and then also he also did not find Cole early. It was also, I think, last location on his side, but he, I think, had a better idea of where it must have been. So managed to get there a bit more quickly. So we were both into Sharlock. I think you entered Sharlock a floor ahead of Yakko. So it was very, very close down the stretch. But
was he the same? Like I went in at 15 and I was fighting stuff. Was he also 15, or would he already gotten to 16 on the X?
He was also 15. Decided to try to take certain fights and try to be very selective. And in the end, that probably cost him a bit. He ended up trying to make it a single dive, but just did not quite have the resources to get to where he needed to be in DL2. So took a death on DL2 on his first attempt.
Yeah, understandable. I went in with giving myself the option for wanting to do a single dive potentially, but I had I didn't like, even with the armor, didn't feel 100% confident in 15. I mean, you could do it, but and then the first enemy was an Axe Knight, and I just made a snap decision. Like, I'm Hurtmoring this, I'm fighting things on the way down, and I'm going to get the armor and come back. Like, that was what I was going to do. I was hoping to see red dragons, and I did. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, definitely there was a lot of experience to be gained in Sharlock. Meanwhile, we have Yakko starting out the DL2 fight. Should be absolutely golden now. Did get down here with full resources and get into the fight without the back attack that plagued you both in your first attempts.
Yeah, I felt like I was going to be just fine. No, like the 16 stats, given an extra heal more and 7 attack power. I figured it was pretty free. Yeah,
and he's in even better shape because he does have the silver shield on top of that, so should be able to buzz cut through this pretty easily.
I thought about gold grinding, but I was fine. Like, it wasn't a full-on pants on fire seed, but it felt definitely on the faster side of things, and like the go level could come quickly. So I just was worried that there was going to be things nearby. I think it was Grave that I found first, and it was like a bunch of stuff nearby. So I'm really glad I didn't grind out of there. It's just the only problem was, again, like the map. If I find coal early, I finished this like 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, the map boss was a bit against both of you, but you managed to make it work in the end.
But yeah, I figured Yakko was probably right. I wasn't sure if he was going to grind early or not. Like, there was a potential in my mind that maybe that would be a difference, but I wasn't for sure. I definitely felt the pressure of not having having the cursed belt knowledge. There's no way you don't find coal. You got to find coal. You can't play the don't find coal game.
Yeah, that's one thing we weren't sure about in the booth. We knew there was a cursed belt in the treasury, but we did not know if there had been a second one. So we were very curious on that.
Yeah, there were 3 belts, so it was for sure. GG to Yakko.
Yeah, get your GGs out in chat. Finishing the DL2 fight comfortably with 40 MP left.
Ironically, that means he only used 8 heal mores. What he went into the fight with the first time. But he rolled absurdly well on this one. If you saw, we weren't counting that one out, but I saw a lot of 16s, 18s, 20s, and I think the last swing was a really bad one at 10. So it was definitely possible, even in his situation. It was just a combination of not using the death necklace, of swinging when he really shouldn't have, and just not getting good rolls. He was rolling lots of 8s, 9s, and 10s in his first fight, so even then it wasn't quite gonna work.
Yeah, the back attack in the first fight also really dampened it as well, so I don't know that it would have been doable without luck heavily changing toward the back half.
True. He did get a couple of doubles in there, but regardless, 125.59, so it's going to be about 6.5 minutes between them. Again, 6.5 minutes doesn't even in and of itself seem like it's that much, but this was a very close fight, and it looks like 161 on the Dragon Lord, which I believe is exactly what Hoodie hit on this one with that last swing.
I will trust your math because I can't do it at all.
I may have been 162. I don't know. I might have counted wrong though. I'm not sure at all. So there's a lot going on in this that wasn't terrible, but I've been having, in the asyncs and other, I've been having real bad luck with things, especially Dragon Lords, and so I just had the feeling that I was gonna die if I tried to push it, so I didn't.
All right, it looks like YakkoWakko has joined us in the booth, potentially having a mic issue, but we'll see if he has some comments for us if he can. So welcome in, YakkoWakko. GG. Sorry that the first attempt didn't quite go as well as you had hoped, but good on you for finishing it out.
Heard you for a moment there, but not your voice.
Might just not be in the cards, unfortunately. If it is, feel free to keep trying, but if you want to join us in the chat as well, by all means, on the restream. But again, GG to Yakko. Very well fought. Again, I will say that the biggest thing that I can say about the way this one went is Hoodie was like 3 steps ahead for the majority of the seed. You both went almost exactly the same direction in the same order for the most part, the entire seed. With the exception of Yakko finding the staff cave significantly earlier than you did, Hoodie. He found it maybe after, what, 10, 12 minutes. But beyond that, you pretty much did everything in order. Yakko did the gold grind out of the grave and then went back up for Mountain Cave later. But other than that, it was just kind of like a day late and a dollar short, it seems like, for Yakko in this one. He almost made it work at the very end in a very risky Dragonlord fight, but it was a great race to watch regardless.
You know, I'm realizing I might have rated you guys before I let my credits through. If they're still real, you want me to start streaming again? They're still going.
That's up to you. It's not super duper critical if you don't want to. It's always nice. Although I don't think there were any crazy enemies or things that we really were desperate to see stats on necessarily. Trying to remember if there was anything silly.
No, answering DMC, I forgot about that chest. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yes. That was a point of conversation a bit earlier. We kind of got lost on it a little bit once Yakko found it, and it was just fairy water.
At a certain point, it didn't matter though, because the curse belt was the information. But yeah, I mean, it would have been a bummer. Probably wouldn't have realized that I missed it. I'm trying to do that, you know, everyone's, you take fewer steps in Mountain Cave, you dummy. Like, why? I'm just going to go back to going the other way. I don't care. You guys go the 2-step better way. I'll go the other way and it'll be fine.
Yes, join me. Yeah, I think whatever route makes the most comfort for you is the right decision in a lot of cases like that. So
it's just muscle memory, and I probably got into an encounter. Like I need to think about it to go back to that, and I just stopped thinking about it, you know. So I think that I'm going to stop trying to change things. We'll just go back to doing the inefficient routing.
So, Hoodie, with the win, that takes you to 3-1 in the group. How do you feel about how things have gone so far and the races you have still yet to come?
I mean, the last race that I did was literally the worst race I've ever had in a tournament. So it's pretty, like, more than like losing is bad. It's not fun to lose or whatever. You know, Aaron's a very tough opponent, so it was going to be tough to win regardless. But like, just really disappointed to not have what I thought was like a legitimate race attempt. You know, if you're going to lose, you want to lose putting forth an effort, I guess. And that was not that. So like disappointed that I didn't have like a genuine crack at that race, I guess. So you know, I'm happy to be at what am I, 3-1 now? Yeah, I think that's the case. So I'm happy there. You know, it's up to me to make the brackets. You know, if I win, I make the brackets. The worst I can finish if I win out is second in the group. So I'm in a good spot in that regard, but Tilo and Nim are incredibly tough opponents. So, you know, I'm gonna have to try real hard to take home wins in those.
And if you have any other thoughts, comments, or anything on this race, or again, those same races that are moving forward, you mentioned Tilo and Nim and just the group progress overall. So feel free to share those if you choose as well.
I think that our group has done a fantastic job of scheduling races. We might be close to, you know, probably more than half of our group's races have been done. So I feel, I was happy for the group, got some tangible group pride. Yeah, I'm looking forward to racing at the end of next week. I think Thursday and Friday are my races against Nim and Tilo. Sounds like Yakko's trying to talk, but having audio issues. But yeah, in terms of all that, it's been fun. Lots of interesting race results. I'm just hoping that the trend of map problems, and it's not just me, like there's been so many map issues for runners, just kind of like across the board. I would like those to stop, and hopefully Yakko is here and able to talk now.
I can hear you, but I guess you can't hear me.
We got you. Now we hear you.
Okay, there we go. Yay. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me get outside. Okay, take 685.
Welcome in YakkoWakko. GG. Your thoughts on today's race?
Fortunately, I think everything would have gone well if it wasn't for the back attacks and wasting all the heal mores trying to get down there. Other than that, could have been better, could have been worse. It could have been my seat against Aaron a couple nights ago if you guys watched that.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those seeds, especially with the early hurt and then fairly early hurt more as well. It's, as Hoodie put it earlier, it wasn't quite a pants on fire seed where it was absolutely desperately urgent to find everything immediately because the seed was going to be done in 50 minutes or something, but it was fast enough that any of those mistakes, whether it was finding something or not getting to the grind at the right time or maybe finding things in the wrong order, was going to be relatively painful.
Yeah, I think the early missing coal, just going straight down, I was like, okay, that probably put me behind.
The funny thing is that it really didn't in this case. It certainly would have helped, but Hoodie also last locationed coal and had a little bit of a map boss difficulty in finding it, re-explored some things before heading in that direction. So you didn't find it too much after Hoodie did, only a couple minutes at most.
Yeah, I was still trying to find it on the rest of the continent, and then I realized I never got the rainbow drop. So as soon as I got as soon as I found the wings, I just went back and went for that. And I'm trying to think what else was in there. Did the early experience grind, because why not, with the hurt more.
And then I suppose all the way at the end, not to skip ahead if you have anything else that you want to address during the run, but that Dragon Lord fight at the very end, what were your thoughts about trying to dig through Sharlock there? I know that you mentioned just had burned too many resources, but you did give it a go, and it turned out that was probably the only chance at that stage. You didn't know it, of course, but that was the only chance you would have had to pull a win out in this one. What were your thoughts going into that Dragon Lord fight? Death Necklace or no? What was the approach there?
At that point, I only had 8 heal mores, so I'm figuring if I have any kind of a chance to win, I'm going to have to get some doubles, maybe even some triples. So that's why I didn't go for the Death Necklace on the first run. But unfortunately, getting 2 back attacks really just destroyed those chances completely.
Yeah, the back attacks and the rolls weren't particularly good either. The numbers, even if you didn't get sniped there for 46, weren't likely going to map out unless that absolutely turned around in the second half. But it was still a valiant effort. Like I said, this was a very, very close race. 6.5 minutes almost doesn't seem to encompass how close this was until the very end. So kudos to you. Unfortunately, you moved to 1 and 2 in the group so far. Thoughts and feelings on performance so far and races still to come?
How many more do I have? I got 5 total, right?
6. Your group, along with one other, has 7 entrants, so 6 races for you. Lucky.
Oh, goody. So we got 3 more. Okay, I just got to figure out when those are going to happen. For me, it usually comes down to the last race. it's kind of like do or die. So I have a feeling it's probably, unless this next one is a doozy, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know at this point. I don't know what I'm having for dinner at this point.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, certainly at 1 and 2, not out of it. Probably to have a good chance at it, need to win out. Certainly doable. Again, it's not an easy group with the number 1 overall seed in your group as well. But having that race already kind of taken care of, I mean, 3 races, whether they're winnable or not, or whether they are going to be wins or losses, hopefully wish you the best of luck on that. Any final thoughts to either of our runners as we look to close things out?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all of you all volunteering. There's lots of volunteers putting on all these races that are happening. Thanks to everyone in the community. It's a lot of fun, just like being a part of watching or, having fun with the game. And you're all a part of it as well, whether you play the game or not. Everyone that interacts in any kind of stream or anything, you're a part of the tournament and part of what makes it fun. So thanks to everyone, and looking forward to the rest of the summer tournament. Thank you.
Maybe about 2 seconds. I got a plane flying overhead. Yeah, pretty much. I really can't add too much to that. Thank you to everybody who puts this together, for giving us this opportunity. And I was pretty much a last minute entry, and I just kind of like threw it in at the last minute. It was more than likely I may have to skip the winter tournament this year, so I definitely wanted to get something done at least for the summer. More info on that another day.
All right. Well, we're glad you're here. Thanks both of you for putting on a great show. I think Amand is going to talk us out here and send us off to our raid target. But thanks both of you. Thanks again to Amand for joining me in the booth. Appreciate it.
Yeah, as has been said, thank you, Diabetes. Thank you, Dr. Mookhouse, for tracking, and thank you, Tanuki, for restreaming. We are going to be rating a grudge match, or I guess the opposite of a grudge match, an ungrudge match. The long-awaited Tilo versus Ursine summer tournament match is being Red Slime zoned over on Edge Talveron's stream. So we're going to head over there and see that.
Goodbye, nurse.